Hey, Chris Rade here from Alchemy Apps. Today we're going to talk about a pretty cool client build out that we did, which includes a company called Samsara, which provides GPS on heavy duty equipment. They have a really robust API, and we were able to take a lot of that data coming from different trucks and cranes all over a state and putting that API into a bubble database, collecting all the information, and being able to trigger different functions for this company inside of their bubble app. Okay, so here's the Samsara API guide. As you can see, it's quite robust. They've got everything in here from location data, fuel consumption and idling, VIR information, the amount of fuel that's left in the vehicle, hours of service, um, safety, sensors that are connected to the computer inside the vehicle that are giving possible fault code information, defects that someone may have put on a VIR. A lot of information that is going into the Samsara system via the sensor that's connected to the computer on board the vehicle, as well as their field app that might be accessed by an employee from a company. So, for our purposes here, the only thing that we're going to focus on is basically the maintenance APIs that are giving us information on the defects that are written into VIRs by the employees or defects that are coming up as a result of some sensors triggering on the vehicle itself. So we utilize Bubble's API connector to hook into Samsara's APIs. And basically what we're doing is we had to go in and get all of the unique identifiers inside of Samsara that matched up with our vehicles. So we have a database of all of our vehicles inside of Bubble. We created a field and put the Samsara ID so that when we call the API, we can match the exact vehicle's information on the API system on Samsara with the information in the vehicle that we have on Bubble's database. When we pull the information over, first thing we do is pull the miles and hours. This is real-time data coming from the sensors inside the vehicle's computer, as well as the number of defects and the number of faults that have not been resolved yet. When a mechanic comes into this screen, they're able to go through all of the vehicles, select one, and get some more detail. So in this particular vehicle, there's a defect that someone wrote up on a VIR about a window motor not working, and this vehicle is also triggering a fault in one of the sensors that's coming up. So a mechanic has the ability to either choose one defect, a number of defects if there's more than one, or a fault and a defect, or all of them, and then create a work order that's needed and mandated by DOT to show proof that these issues were fixed. So once they select that, they can click work order. And then this is the system that has already been built and has been in place for quite a while. The problem that we solved is once Samsara was installed in all the vehicles, they had to go to two separate applications in order to get information. The mechanic was going to Samsara to get information from there, then coming back to the work orders and filling it out, copying, pasting, or typing by hand. Now that's not needed anymore because we're pulling that information from Samsara and they can work right inside the Bubble app. So this pulls the information from Samsara, puts it into the work ticket. It also pulls the miles and hours. And now the mechanic can go to work, record the other information that they need while they do the fix. Once the fix is done, they can come back and they can resolve the problem if it's a defect. So this is another call within Samsara. Once they resolve it, they put some mechanics notes in. This sends the information back to Samsara and records it as being resolved, so it doesn't show up on the vehicle anymore, and so that there's a record that that has been fixed electronically, as well as within um, our Bubble app, which is the whole reason for this work order in the first place. The fault code will resolve on its own, of course, if the issue is fixed inside the machine and that sensor is no longer triggering. So this is a great example on how Bubble can help you to build internal applications for your business to create better efficiencies and workflows, or to bring in certain information in order to uh, sort it, look at it, analyze it. Samsara, on the other hand, is obviously an incredible tool for construction companies, heavy duty equipment, and or trucking companies. If you need to be able to track your vehicles for compliance purposes, track your drivers for compliance and behavior purposes, as well as get information for your maintenance programs. So if you fall into any of those categories, I highly suggest checking out both platforms if you're unfamiliar with them. Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Chris Schrade. I've been utilizing Bubble and other no-code platforms since 2016. I'd love to be able to talk to you to talk about your startup idea or your idea to create an application to make your business better. Please go to alchemyapps.co, fill out our contact info, and I'll be in contact with you within 24 hours.